Okay, hello all. I see we have a few more people popping in. It's about 1 o'clock, so we'll just get started. So hello all, and welcome to this Inbox 25 webinar on using our new integrations with live chat and Olark. Before we begin, I want to discuss some general housekeeping. If there's any questions during the webinar, please feel free to ask them in the chat bar below, and I will get to as many as I can at the end of the webinar. Remember, this webinar, along with all of our other webinars, are recorded and placed on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/inbox25tube, T-U-B-E. And just a general reminder, follow us on Twitter at inbox25.com to get everything up to date inbox. Perfect. So before we start diving into the live demo, I want to discuss what exactly Olark and live chat exactly are. Olark and live chat are powerful chat platforms that easily connects you with your visitors on your website. It's ideal for providing sales and support of your product and services quickly and efficiently. And Olark and live chat connect to Inbox 25 and pass full chat transcripts to our platform. Once we receive those chat transcripts, we parse them to find new targets to add to your marketing program and assign chat transcripts to any existing targets in your marketing or CRM lists. With Inbox 25, you can leverage Olark and live chat for lead generation by seamlessly converting chat sessions into new prospects and leads. And once that data is saved within Inbox 25, it then becomes actionable for use with the automation, scoring, and reporting tools. So before we begin using these two integrations, we first must link up these two platforms and set them up within Inbox 25. So both have similar setup processes and should take no more than 5 minutes. So our first step is to hover over the little gear icon here and select integrations. From here, we're given all the integrations that Inbox 25 has available. In our case, we just click on the Olark tab and begin setting up the Olark integration. Perfect. Now note, you are going to need your Olark account up in a separate tab in order to set up the integration. So we're going to switch over to the Olark tab here. And our first step on this screen is to click the settings on the top right or the top middle. Then we can click on the integrations tab here. And we can select the icon called webhooks. From here, we can switch back to our Inbox 25 account. We're going to copy this code here and then paste that into our Olark chat box or Olark webhook URL right here, and click send a test and save. Once that's saved up, the last step is to simply decide which list or module from Sugar all new records will be created in when the chat is completed. From this point on, Olark will post all of your chat sessions to Inbox 25 account when they conclude. So in my case, I have this mapped to leads, but you can map it to any CRM list or marketing list. Accounts, contacts, prospects, you get the idea. So I'm just going to map to leads, click update and connect, and we are connected. So to set up live chat, we're going to go back to our integration screen here and select the live chat tab. Live chat tab here. Perfect. And once again, just like with Olark, we are going to need to be logged into our live chat account. I have that open in a separate tab here. So first step here is to go to our live chat account. Note, you will have to be the owner of the account or the admin of the account in order to set up the live chat integration. So we're going to go over to my little name here, James Verdi, open up my profile. Then from here, we want to click Edit, and For Developers here. Now, when you open up the For Developers here, or For Developers tab, you're going to get an API key, and you're going to take that API key and then insert it into these boxes here. Now, I'm not going to show you my API key here, as it is sensitive information, but if you click For Developers, copy paste the API key back into Inbox 5, you'll get all set up. The last step is to insert your username here for your live chat account, and then finally select the module or list that all new chats, transcripts, or targets will be going into. So in my case, once again, I have it in the leads module within Sugar. We click update, and we are connected. So now that we have our integration set up, it's time to dive headfirst into the meat and potatoes of this webinar. Olark and live chat are not only great mediums for customer interactions, but for lead generation as well. So whenever a new chat session ends with a customer or prospect, our integration will automatically import the full chat transcript. If the target is not already existing within your database, we will create a completely new record in whatever list or module you have assigned in the integration screen, which is one of these here. If the target is already a record within your database, we're going to update any new information on a timeline profile. So now we have discussed how Olark and LiveChat can be used for lead generation tool. Let's move on to using these platforms within the context of an automated workflow, which is really where you're going to be doing a lot of the bulk of your integration. So to start applying these great integrations, we first must create a new automated campaign. Go to the automation tab up here. And then from here, we're going to get a bird's eye view of all the automated campaigns we've created within Inbox. Our first step here is to scroll to the bottom of the screen and choose Add Automated Campaign. Perfect. So from here, we are given our automated campaign wizard. Our first step when creating any automated campaign is to select which module or list that we want to be pulling this information from. So in my case, I have modules from Sugar. In our case, for both Olark and LiveChat, we have mapped both platforms to create new information in the leads module. But you want to note that if a record is already created at the time of the chat, we will update the information for that particular record that already exists. So, for example, if a chat is between a contact record and Sugar, we're going to update their information in real time. So just be wary when you're selecting which module of Sugar you're pulling information from. As with LiveChat and Olark, people can be in different modules. But in our case, we have new people mapped to the leads module, so that's the module we will select for this particular campaign. Next step, giving an easy identifiable name is a best practice. I'm going to call this LiveChat and Olark webinar intro email. Perfect. The next step is to select a matching setting. So matching setting is really going to dictate the logic you want this campaign to have, and it's really going to depend on your campaign-specific goals. I'll just go over briefly what each one is, just get a general idea. So when you select a match by current condition only, you're instructing the automated campaign engine to only consider matching the current condition rule, and not to check if any previously matched condition rules are still true. Any previously matched conditions are irrelevant, and all that matters is the path ahead. So if we choose to map by if we choose to use a progressive campaign, it requires that all conditions contained in your timeline must continue to match as your campaign continues through the nurturing path. So before any additional actions activate, the automated campaign engine will check to ensure that every previously matched condition is still true. And finally, we have our smart campaign. This simply means that the initial condition block must always be met in order for the campaign to continue. So for this campaign, I'm just going to choose a smart campaign for demo purposes and click continue. Perfect. So from here, we're given our condition screen. Conditions are used to define the criteria that our campaign engine should look for when including targets in your campaign. So for this particular campaign, I want to choose targets that have interacted with me on either LiveChat or Olark for more than 3 minutes. Because I chose the leads module in the beginning of the campaign, most, if not all, the people eligible for this campaign will be newly created records in my account from Olark and LiveChat. So this campaign will take the form of, sort of a welcome workflow where I send out a welcome email to those who have chatted with me for a certain duration. In my case, I'm going to use 3 minutes. So this email will contain information about my business, as well as special deals only available to those receiving this campaign. So it's sort of an incentive for chatting with me on LiveChat or Olark. So to start this campaign, I'm going to select the chat condition right here. So from here, we're prompted to name this condition. I'm going to call this Olark Chat, as this will be the Olark condition. Perfect. So from here, we're presented with a host of options. We first need to choose which one of these chat clients we want to use. So we have either LiveChat or Olark. In our case, I'm going to choose Olark session ended after. Then I'm going to choose a specific date I want to pull this information from. So anytime, ended after, let's do June 10th. So anything that's ended after June 10th. We can select which agent we want to have this campaign for. I'm just going to use any agent in my case because it's a dummy account. And then we have these three options here. We can just use a condition based on duration, which we want to use. How was the chat rated? Or were there any keywords in the chat that we want to pull from in terms of using a condition? So in our case, we're going to choose duration. And then we have more than and less than. In our case, we want to do more than 3 minutes. And then we can simply add the condition to our timeline. Perfect, all set. So from here, we're prompted with either adding another condition or adding an action. So because I want this target, because I want to target both chat clients, I want to add another condition for live chat. Perfect. So I'm simply going to repeat this process, only changing the chat client. So I'm going to choose the chat condition here. I'm going to call this live chat. And I'm going to do live chat session ended after. And once again, I'm going to repeat the same process. We'll do June 10th, any agent, duration, more than, and then 3 minutes. And then from here, we can click Add Condition. Perfect. So after I add my second condition, and I click to add an action now, we've got the conditions out of the way, I am met with a condition matching screen. So this is basically asking if I want both these conditions to match in order for the campaign to continue, or I just want one of these conditions to match. In our case, I want either one of these conditions to match, so I'm going to click Match Any. And when I do that, you can tell here that the AND on our automated timeline has now changed to an OR. So it's saying if one of these, only one of these conditions will have to be met in order for the campaign to keep moving forward. So from here, I can configure a wait connector. This screen is going to let us decide the amount of time from when the condition is met to when the action will trigger. We give you a host of options for minutes, hours, days, weeks, and months. In our case, I want this action to be instantaneous, so I'm going to choose 1 minute and click Continue. So now we're prompted with our action screen. Actions are what moves your campaign forward and directs prospects through your sales pipeline. So for this particular campaign, I want to select the Send Email action, and I want to send a welcome email to those who have chatted with me for more than 3 minutes on both live chat or Olark. Click Send Email. So of course, we are once again prompted with naming this email, or naming this action. I'm going to call this one First Email. Perfect. So this is going to be a welcoming email. To all those ladies who chatted with me for more than 3 minutes. So our next step here is to either choose a previously created email that we have already created within Inbox, or to create a completely new email within the email campaign builder. Now, I'm not going to get into the email campaign builder today. We do have a recorded webinar on YouTube dedicated to creating high impact and beautiful emails with our email campaign builder. So I generally recommend you checking that out for anyone that's going to be using the email functionality, which is a huge functionality within our program, or within our platform. So I'm just going to choose a previously created email here. I'm going to use an email called Intro. And now note, when you use a previously created email within Inbox 25, we make it mandatory for you to go back and edit the message before you continue. Just click Edit the Message here. This is just used as a fail-safe to make sure everything in the email is correct because it was created beforehand. We just want to give you that mandatory check to make sure everything's correct within the email. If everything looks good, you can simply just click Next Step, and then Next Step, and then Finish and Save. And it's as simple as that. If you know for sure everything is correct in the email, finish and save, and then finally we can click Add Action to add this to our workflow. Perfect. So really in a matter of minutes, we've created a basic workflow incorporating both live chat and Olark to help reach out our potential clients. Now of course we could continue this campaign, creating a dynamic nurturing campaign by adding more emails. But for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to leave it as it is. So aside from using these chat platforms for automated workflows, Inbox 25 also allows you to create scorecards around both Olark and live chat. Chat sessions can be a great indicator of prospects' purchasing potential. By using scorecards, you can assign numerical values for different behaviors that are monitored from Olark and live chat. So as a general example, perhaps a chat session with a prospect last greater than, I don't know, 5 minutes, you can value that at 25 points as an example. So by creating scorecards around these platforms, we can expand the range in which you reach potential prospects. By increasing the options we give you, we can increase the speed and effectiveness of your sales pipeline. So to start creating scorecards, we can simply hover over the Scorecards tab here. Click X to finish this campaign out. We go over to our scorecard here, and then scoreboard, and then scoreboard manager. So from here, we're going to get, once again, a bird's eye view of all the scorecards we've created within Inbox 25. As you see here, I do have a scorecard dedicated completely to live chat and Olark rules right there. So you have 2 rules within the scorecard. We're going to click the edit button, which is a little gear icon on the right of the screen. And that'll bring up the edit page to start exploring what exactly it is I've done within these scorecards. So I've created two rules within the scorecard. If the live chat has a good rating, I'm going to score them by 5 points. If their score in the live chat is good, that demands, or that means they have some sort of interest and relative value. And then if an Olark chat is longer than 4 minutes, I'm going to give them 4 points. So if chat with me for more than 4 minutes, I think that denotes a certain amount of points. So let's create a new scorecard together, just showing you how that's actually done. So I'm going to create a scorecard. I'm going to create a rule within this scorecard based on a keyword. So it's important to note that the rules here, the conditions we give you are exactly identical to the look and feel of the conditions in the automated workflow. So we have the same exact options. So let's go to chats here. I'm going to call this a suggestions rule, and click Save this rule. Perfect. So we can add a condition for this rule. And once again, this is going to look exactly identical to the way it did in the automated campaign workflow. I'm going to do this as an Olark session. So Olark session, why not keep it all the same? I'm going to click June 10th again. Do any agent, but this time we're going to choose keywords. So we can either choose to match by 1 word or phrase, or we can do a couple words or as many words you want separated by commas. In our case, I want to do a rule based on anyone who has suggestions. I feel suggestions are a good indicator, and I want to reward people for bringing constructive criticism to my product. So we'll do the keyword suggestions. So anytime if there's a chat that ever has the keyword suggestions in it, I'll be able to score them. So we're going to give them 10 points for that. We're going to give them a max of 20 points. The more suggestions, the better. Suggestions sort of denote a positive critique, not a negative one. So click Save this rule. And perfect. So once we would activate this scorecard, we'll start scoring anyone who meets these particular requirements, and we can start moving people through our sales funnel a lot quicker and more efficiently because they're being scored on a wider range of options. So last but not least, within this webinar, I want to discuss the reporting feature found within our live chat and Olark integration. So here at Inbox 25, we take great pride at supplying in-depth, clear, and concise reporting. Our chat integration reporting offers an inside look at how chat is influencing your lead generation, sales funnel opportunities, and revenue. So with our in-depth overview of your chat activity, your marketing team will quickly pinpoint trends that impact both sales and support. So to access the reporting feature within these integrations, we go up to the Reports tab on our Inbox 25 dashboard, go to Integration Reports, and from here we have all the integrations that we have within Inbox 25. In our case, we're going to choose Olark as an example. It's important to note that both Olark and live chat work identical within our system. So the only thing that changes would be the setup process, as we've done in the beginning. But the reporting feature, both the scoring features and the automated workflow features will all be exactly identical between the 2 platforms. So we're now brought to our reporting screen. Here we give you a ton of metrics to view. The top dashboard supplies you with some overall metrics like total chats, how many new targets were created, how many returning people are in your have come to chat, how many non-identified people, the specific rating, how many ratings were good, and if there's any opportunities associated with the record within Sugar. If you look down the bottom of the screen a little bit, we have a graph that breaks down metrics like the number of chat sessions, the chat duration sessions. We can do new versus returning records, and also chats by lifecycle stage. So we're really giving you a ton of metrics here in terms of scoring and looking at your leads within the reporting feature. If we scroll down to the bottom of the screen here, now we're going to get some more in-depth and specific metrics on live chats that we've had in the past. So as you see here, I've had a live chat with my colleague Ryan Brown. If we click View Chat Transcript, we can view the complete chat transcript of the chat we've had. It's a little sample chat, just to give you a general idea of how this works. This is a chat we've had on Olark. We can see the end date, so this was 4 days ago. We can see a score associated with Ryan Brown. We can see the agent he chatted with, and we can also see the duration of the chat. Now, what's really neat about our integration with Olark and live chat is the ability to view this on an Inbox 25 timeline. So if we click on Ryan Brown here, we can bring up his Inbox 25 timeline. So here's a timeline of everything Ryan Brown has done within our system or within our platform. So as you see here, we have this Olark live chat session as a tab. And of course, we have our 4 days ago when he was first touched, how long the chat was. But we get some cool features if we click on it. So we click on the Olark live chat session. We bring up once again, we can see the full chat transcript. We can see the start time of the chat, the end time of the chat, if the chat was rated, the agent he chatted with, and the date of the chat. So, we're just giving you more metrics to expand the functionality of the platform. It's a really great feature. It's definitely going to be helpful if you utilize both live chat or Olark in terms of looking at profiles, seeing who's chatted with, reading chats within our platform instead of going back and forth. It really makes your life a lot easier. That's sort of the broad overview or the broad scope of the chatting features or the chatting integrations within Inbox 25. It goes very deep, and there's a lot you can do with it. It just takes some finagling, as you see in the webinar. We created a very basic workflow. Sending out a welcome email. Of course, you can add more emails or add more actions if you want to create a full nurturing campaign. So the functionality goes really, really deep. So we're coming to the end of the webinar here. So I want to take any questions that might have arose while I was doing this actual webinar. So I'm going to click on to see if we have any questions asked here. Okay, I think we have two. All right, so we have two. Okay, so first one, are live chat and Olark treated the same way within Inbox? Yeah, of course. Everything between the two is identical apart from the setup process, which we covered in the beginning of the webinar. So everything is exactly identical. Whatever chat platform you use, it's going to work the same way within Inbox 25. And the second one we have, where are new targets being created within Inbox after a chat is complete? Okay, so when Inbox detects a new record, it's going to create that record in whichever list or CRM module either Olark or live chat is mapped to. Let me just go back to that real quick. I can just show you while over here. Go to the gear integration screen, and then from here we can go to the specific integration we want to use. So in our case, we'll just use Olark, and it's here. So whatever one you've mapped it to. So it can be a CRM list, which would be accounts, contacts, prospects, or a marketing list. In our case, I have it mapped to leads. So that's where any new records are going to be created. Generally recommending if you're using Sugar CRM, new records would be created in the leads module, which is the best practice. Okay, so that seems to be the end for the questions. Of course, if you think of anything further or any further questions later on, please email me at james.verdi@inbox25.com, and I'll get back to you with an answer as soon as I can. So I hope this webinar has been informative and helpful to get these two platforms integrated to start using them with your marketing efforts. They can be immensely helpful. Once again, just a general reminder, all of our webinars are recorded and placed on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/inbox25tube, TUBE. So on that note, that sums up today's webinar. I hope you guys all have a great day. Cheers.